I just signed up for college. I am 33 years old. I have 3 kids. I am a full-time employee, and I think I've completely lost my mind. A little hard to talk about, but what actually made me pull the trigger, so to speak, on why now, why at 33, I've decided it's indeed time to go back to school. Honestly, there's a lot of things, but I think mostly I'm at a phase in my life where I carry a lot of shame. I carry a lot of shame that I don't have my degree. I see friends and peers, some in the same field as me, some not, doing what I feel like is considerably better than I am. I mean, by no means am I saying I don't make okay money, because I do, but all the experience I have from my years in the Army and certifications that I have, they only go so far. Realistically, if I want to keep climbing in the IT field, I unfortunately need to have more certs and eventually a bachelor's degree on top of that. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And to be honest, I joke that I've almost talked myself out of it about 17 times, but up until now, I had been talking myself out of it. I'm a very stubborn individual. If you don't know me, well, now you do. I'm actually quite stubborn. And I was just very stubborn. I didn't want to go back. I have a really big fear of failure, and I was just gonna white knuckle it, working mid to entry level position, probably until the day that I died, because I just didn't want to go back and admit that I was wrong. I guess I just finally kind of realized, I guess, if not now, when, and why is that when not now? And to be honest, luckily, the school I'm going to, I previously was a student at, so I'm still enrolled. It's just considered a broken enrollment. And now, of course, I just have the added stress of kids and schedules, a never-ending co-parent situation, a job that I'm working on top of that, and of course, I'm paying rent. So life is different, but here we are. Honestly, we're just pausing for a second. Let this sink in. I work full-time. I am a full-time employee. I work 40 plus hours a week. On top of that, I have 3 kids. 2 bio, 1 bonus. We have an interesting time with the scheduling for my bonus babe, which adds stress to when am I gonna add classes. On top of that, Riley, my oldest, is school age. She has clubs, activities. She wants to see friends. That leaves mom, because my husband also works. That leaves me to be juggling the clubs, the activities, the schedules, the play dates, the transportation. Addie, who has medical diagnoses like Thanos has infinity stones, also has her own slew of doctor's appointments, dietary needs, special meal preps, telehealth appointment, just all the things, because she is so, in her first year of life, medically just, I guess for lack of a better word, complex. She's complex. Then add in the fact that, like I said, my husband also works. So again, there's just a whole logistics piece, things that honestly, I feel delusional, deciding that this is what I'm gonna do. Like now, I just kind of woke up one day and was like, I'm gonna go back to school. Let's make this happen. And honestly, on top of everything that I just explained, now I've decided that I want to add in homework, study groups, tests. And I did that. I guess on purpose, I've done that. I've decided I'm going to add all this in to my plate. So I'm not sure why, but here we are. I'm going to go ahead and just add all of that in. Honestly, much like Addie and her medical diagnoses, I'm apparently out here collecting stress, chaos, and overloading my plate, much like it's a personality trait, my infinity stones, so to speak. And honestly, I don't even know what's going to fall apart first, but I'm pretty terrified and confident that it's going to be my sanity that leaves my body entirely. But again, I did that. So here it is. Here we go. And honestly, again, sit with it. Sit in it with me, friends. Just sit and think. Honestly, what nobody tells you versus, I guess, what nobody then warns you about when you decide to go back to school later in life. The time math in your day, it's not adding up. By 8 a.m., I have to have Addison Addie, the baby, off at daycare Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I can start work by 8:30. I'm not done with work until 4:30. And let's not forget that Riley, my oldest, is school-aged, and her bus comes at 7:38, so we have to make sure that she's up and ready to go for the bus. And school is Monday through Friday, but it is almost summer break because for whatever reason, my child's school district has decided that May 22nd would be an excellent time to end school. So I'm thinking of taking my classes starting this summer. So add in now I've got summer camps to get her to, and then make college classes. I still work 40 hours a week because it's summer break, the job doesn't stop. On top of that, Addie still has GI appointments, peds appointments. We have to do more allergy testing. Then there's dinner, bedtimes. Just where is the time? Like, the time's not timing, the math isn't mathing. Let's try to make it make sense. Unfortunately, probably won't. So honestly, again, when you think about that, when am I supposed to study? I mean, shit, when am I going to figure out my class schedule? When I'm already running on fumes, when the caffeine and the ADHD meds and rage has worn off. That is a combo, my friends, for disaster. But here we are. Not sure how I'm going to get it done, but we shall see. But don't forget, I have another full-time job on top of my paid full-time job. And it's the full-time job that nobody talks about because it's unpaid. I'm a parent. Being a mom doesn't show up on a resume, but it's a lot of work. We've got the logistics of my bonus babe and everything that's been going on with that. We've got Riley's doctor's appointments, and then of course school and summer camp schedules. We've got Addie's dietary needs and management, her specialists and appointment schedules. I feel like I have repeated these lines a lot, but if you think about it, my life revolves around all of this right now, on top of just trying to exist in a space that feels increasingly difficult to exist in. And all of that is unpaid labor. And none of that will pause for college courses, study groups, midterms, finals. Life doesn't stop because you've decided you have this this desire to finish something that you've started. You just have to work it all in to your existing life structure. And that is unbelievably stressful. It is unbelievably hard. Again, I'm living in a realm of delusion of grandeur. And honestly, blogs I've read, other videos I've watched, people I've spoken to in my life have said that you're gonna find the time. You will find the time. Where am I gonna find the time? Please tell me specifically where, because I'm looking, and at this point, I'm probably gonna have to resort to running back on caffeine and chaos like I did in the Army. It's not a good place to be, although allegedly you only need 4 hours of sleep to function. So I guess we'll start testing that theory out again. And of course, No one also talks about, I guess, the guilt spiral, the feelings of guilt I'm already feeling, and this hasn't started yet, but I can only presume it's going to get more challenging, because if I'm off studying, then I'm not present with my kids. But if I'm not studying so I can be home and present with my kids and being just available for everyone, then I'm going to fall behind. And this time around, I'm using my VA benefits, and so if I don't maintain certain grades, your girl has to pay the VA back. So that is unfortunately not something I can afford to do. So I can't even find the words to describe basically where I'm at or how I'm feeling. Like, both feel wrong simultaneously, yet there's no other option if I want to actually finish this time. And of course, I have ADHD, which means switching from work mode, from mom mode to then student mode isn't just a toggle. It's a full system reboot, so to speak. And honestly, sometimes it can take 20 minutes minimum. I need a full 15, 20, sometimes even 30 minutes to decompress when I get done with work, just so I can then be a focused and present parent. Now you're telling me I have to literally shift into student mode on top of all of this? Good luck. And golly, nobody warns you that you're going to start grieving your free time before you've even lost your free time. Like that 20 minutes that I need to change modes, that I could just sit, decompress, and breathe. It used to exist, and now it's going to be gone, because unfortunately you have no other choice but to just drive forward and adapt on the fly, because what else am I going to do? I can't not go to class because I'm not ready to go mentally. You just have to do it. And then honestly, I feel guilty already, and I haven't missed things yet. But I feel guilty because I'm choosing this. I'm choosing to go back to school. I'm choosing to finish what I've started. And I know that's going to cause some disappointments. And that's just, it is what it is right now, but it doesn't make it any less easy. And honestly, I'm signing up for this, or I've signed up. I'm going to be signing up for this. I've decided to exist in this parallel in this life. And I really probably shouldn't complain, or I shouldn't get to complain. However, I'm going to on camera for YouTube, because I'm kind of complaining right now, but hey, it is what it is, baby. And honestly, I think one of the biggest things is this idea of imposter syndrome. It hits different when you've already tried school and I've failed. And I failed big. Like, I've been here before. In 2011, I started college at the University of Alabama. And I tried really hard. But after I got done with basic and AIT in 2013, I went back to school. That spring semester in 2014, my grades were already tanked in the shitter, so to speak. My GPA barely hanging on for dear life, and I failed. And even after summer classes, I still failed. And I had to be academically suspended. I came home, I went to school at COD after getting diagnosed with ADHD, and I flourished. I went back to Alabama, hopes to stay on track and get things done now that I knew what was going on with me. I was medicated, I was locked in, or so I thought. And then I met the man that would father Riley. And I use the term loosely because he got me pregnant and left. But that getting pregnant, unplanned, unexpectedly, I had to then come off my ADHD meds. I had to basically go back to how I was before. And I flunked out of school again. So not only had I failed once, but technically I failed twice. So now, this time around, it's not fresh. I'm not naive. It's not like I'm unfamiliar with college, right? I am walking into school actively knowing that I have failed out of school at least twice. So it's not something new. For me, this is finishing something that I already couldn't finish, and I desperately want to. More than anything, I want this. I need this for me. I need this to feel good about myself. And honestly, the thought that just keeps going through my head, and I'm sure I'm overthinking this. I'm sure it is simply my anxiety talking, but the fear that I have, the thought that just doesn't stop, is what if I am not smart enough now? Because I wasn't smart enough then. So what exactly is going to be different this time? Frankly, I was too stupid to finish before, and I feel that there is a real chance that I am still too stupid now. But I will say this. Last time I didn't have a diagnosis. I just thought I was bad at school. I thought I was effectively broken. But now I know why it was hard. And to be honest, I think it makes it a bit more terrifying, not less, because now I know exactly what obstacles I have to overcome and what all needs to be in place in order for me to truly be successful. And I'm walking in, frankly, with full awareness, knowing everything I know now, and still no guarantee that this time it's going to be different. And that sits in my stomach like a giant rock. And sometimes honestly makes me feel physically ill. However, turns out I wasn't stupid. I was just undiagnosed. Running a system, so to speak, that nobody gave me a manual for. And I've finished a whole Army career. I am in the process of raising kids. I haven't burned my house down. Wouldn't say it's thriving, but we're all surviving. And honestly, I'm losing most of this on spite, caffeine, and a sheer refusal to quit. And to be honest, that's not stupid. That's actually insane levels of capable. And I truthfully have to unlearn the version of myself that quit. Because, quite frankly, she wasn't and won't be the whole story. So, I don't know. I guess Thanos didn't stop at 4 stones because the 5th one looked hard. He snatched them shits. So, friends, if you yourself are sitting here thinking about going back, whether that's to school, to a job you loved but had to leave due to life circumstances, really anything, if you're thinking about going back, I don't fully have any advice just yet because I've literally just started, or I'm getting the process started. And truthfully, I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if I'm going to be okay. But you're not alone in being terrified. And apparently, neither am I. Okay. Byesies, for real this time. And please, 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 don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you're going to be doing something hard. Okay, this time for real. It's Byesies. Love you.